Please cast your vote to evict.
I'm sorry, Chemo. I don't have the numbers to keep you. My vote is to evict Chemo. Grandbabies, Nat, I need you to spend.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would absolutely love it if you would help me to drum up engagement, help me to grow this channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. If you are new here, I don't expect you to automatically just hit the button, I get it, but I have a lot of other videos on my page. I've recapped some other shows, and I've been recapping this entire season of Big Brother. So, you know, take a look, scope out the scene, and let me know by hitting that subscribe that you're interested. Anyways, today we are going to get into day 52 in the Big Brother house. As you know, yesterday we had the eviction with some results that, I don't know if y'all expected that, but the results were kind of interesting. We had the aftermath, and we have a new HOH making moves in the house. So let's get on into this day. We are going to begin right at the eviction episode, okay? There was a little bit of chatter in the morning.
I'm not too worried about her coming at me. I guess if I go out by her, I'm just gonna be alright. Yeah, I'm ass. I don't owe her shit. I really don't. I was supposed to go in to keep it because I think that he's benefiting the most over it. You know what I mean? I know. So I'm hoping that I can very
Again, multiple people trying to figure out what they were going to do in a Rubina versus Chemo or a Rubina versus Joseph situation. So many people seem to automatically write off Rubina from winning, but as we know from the episode, the winner was Rubina. Rubina pulls out the W in the AI arena, leaving Joseph and Chemo on the block. Now, if you remember from yesterday, the Tucker evicted 5, they all had agreed that no matter what, they were all going to vote out Chemo, no matter what. That was kind of their agreement. However, I feel like for me, I was like, I just don't see a world where someone like Chelsea keeps Joseph in the game. Knowing that Joseph was going after her, that Joseph does not trust her, all of these different things, I just didn't see the world where Chelsea was going to keep him. So, as expected, Joseph is evicted from the house. Now, why didn't anyone fill in Angela? Why is Angela in the DR doing the absolute certified most? Nobody in this house filled in Angela. Joseph was evicted, and Joseph was in shock. He was definitely shocked. Again, just like Brooklyn, Joseph's rise from here to here was crazy. This week, not great for Joseph. Imagine starting the week off telling Angela, you have no chance in this game. You better win the arena. Telling MJ, the only thing that's a threat is your social game. And you end up outside the house. And then, to make things worse, he told Julie Chen Moonves that in a different season, he would have been in the jury. You can't write this stuff, kids. You can't write this stuff. Anyway, so feeds come back after the eviction episode, and we do get a little bit of talk. So many people were trying to cover themselves for the choices they made, because at the end of the day, as expected, Leah and Cam, they voted to keep Joseph in. Leah, Cam, and Angela.
And, like, I feel bad because it indirectly is my fault in a way, but at the same time, guess what? We're dealing with this for our game.
I would be happy if I did go home for that reason.
Yeah.
Now, Angela didn't intend to. Angela just wanted to vote with the house, but she was not made aware of what was going on. So, as expected, Leah is talking to Chelsea. Leah talks to Chelsea and she says, look, I understand how you were making the best decision for your game. I understand that you had to do what you had to do by getting Joseph out, but I promised him that I was not going to get him out. You know, he was somebody that really cared about me, that had my back. So I couldn't, in good faith, take Joseph out of the game. Now, Quinn was under the impression that Angela was the one who flipped and actually voted out Joseph. And Cam was like, no, it was actually Chelsea and MJ.
Chelsea and Mackenzie flipped. What?
And Quinn is in shock. As we know, Quinn not doing hot. At the end of the episode, it's a bad day to be Quinn. It's a bad week to be Quinn. Quinn has been down disastrous in this game the past few weeks because he has been blindsided left and right, left and right. He is constantly having no idea what anyone in the house is going to do. So once again, he is distraught after this eviction. Now, Angela tells Leah that she talked to Chemo and voted him out because she thought the whole house would. But she does say that she talked to Chemo. She let him know what was going on. She feels really bad. Angela is so distraught because at this point, Angela's in a decent spot, but because she flipped, now it's like, oh, I'm not in a good spot, right? Chelsea is telling T-Core that hopefully Quinn does not hate her after this. She didn't know where the vote was going to go, and that's why she made the choice that she made. And she is happy, though, overall that she kept Chemo because he's a good guy. She likes him. So good. Now, MJ is telling Quinn that she did not know what she was going to do in the vote until the last minute. Again, everybody's trying to kind of explain themselves. I feel like there was two groups of people. There was one group that kept explaining themselves to like T-Core and that group, you know, telling them, oh yeah. And then there was the other side that was trying to explain themselves to Quinn, you know, as like, oh, I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm sorry. I know I told you this, but I didn't know where it was going to go. And Chelsea says overall, you know, Chelsea and Quinn do have a conversation, and Chelsea tells Quinn,
Don't think
No, but realistically, I want you to go far.
Thank you.
And I want to uplift your game. I do not want to be adversary.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to share
And
that.
I'm gonna do that with you as well. This was not
tells Quinn, look, like, I still want to be with you. I still want to see you go far. I don't plan to target you. You know, none of that. I had to do what I had to do for my game. But at the end of the day, I'm not targeting you. I don't want you to, you know, to not go far. I don't want to not, like, see you go far with me. And everything I said to you still stands about where we're at. So seemingly those two are on good terms. Feeds go down again for a little while, and we come back in our new HOHs. Chelsea. So Chelsea tells us off the bat she was not trying to win this competition, but apparently in the end it came down to Cam, Chemo, Mackenzie, and Chelsea just kind of pulled it out in the end. It does sound like the competition was related to the videos that they were seeing, and it just seems like there was a tiebreaker at the end because Mackenzie at one point mentioned, I went over the number, but, you know, I still feel good about it. Even though I went over the number, I was the closest, but obviously they always pick the person closest who doesn't go over. So it sounds like there was a tiebreaker, and Chelsea won the tiebreaker. So T-Core and Leah are having a conversation after
In the beginning, it's like, you don't really know these people. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Now it's like really scary. And
after this, and Leah starts to say, I'm not happy, you know, that this happened. She's like, oh wait, well, I am happy for Chelsea. I was like, girl, Freudian slip. But she says she's happy for Chelsea, but you know, she does see the fear on Chelsea's face. She doesn't know what Chelsea's going to do, and she understands and empathizes with Chelsea because at this point, there is no, like, easy answer to who to take out. You know, the numbers are so low. Now, T-Core does still think next week is a double, and she is convinced that next week will be a double. She tells this to multiple people. Leah says she will chat with Chemo, but she does have a feeling that his speech swayed people's thoughts, and I agree. especially Mackenzie. You could see how touched Mackenzie was when Chemo was talking about things. And I do believe that for one time that Chemo's speech actually swayed Mackenzie. Because remember, Mackenzie was one of like the swing votes. So I do feel like that touched people. And as I've said before, I think that there are many, like at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong way to play Big Brother. There's no one strategy that's going to 100% get you to the end. I think it really depends on the cast you have. There are some casts that are purely strategy based, purely game based, that do not care about emotions, feelings, personal relationships. And there are some casts like this one where emotions are huge. A lot of the people that have gotten out, it's because they're not friends or they're not as like emotionally connected. Look at Joseph. Let's be honest. Joseph is not a strong competitor. Joseph is not somebody who wins a lot of comps. But at the end of the day, he wasn't as close to people as Chemo was. And I think someone like MJ felt touched by what Chemo had to say in his speech, and that saved him. And I do think with this cast, emotions, friendships, personal relationships, empathy, that's huge. How many people have said, I don't want to put T-Core up because she's such a good person? Quinn said that so many times last week. So I do think that that changed everything. I do think that his speech really did sway at least MJ, and that was enough, you know? So Leah does explain again how she could not vote against Joseph because he said that she was his number one and she just felt like she could not go against him. And she said that Chemo did not talk game with her until after Tucker left. So she just said, hey, I didn't really have a close relationship with Chemo. Yeah, we've started talking game a little bit, but not enough where I felt comfortable to vote for him to stay. So Chelsea and Cam have a pretty long conversation.
Well, congratulations making it to week 9.
Come on. I appreciate you.
So you're completely fine. You know that. But what the hell?
Chelsea says, look, you're completely fine this week. Congrats on getting to final 9. You don't have to worry about it. Cam says, look, Angela would target you, you know, if she's here in the house. Chelsea does reveal that she wants to put up Angela and Chemo because she feels like they are two people that would target her. Now, she is considering Leah as well. She doesn't know yet about where Quinn would stand. Cam doesn't know where Quinn stands and how he would be, but he did say that Cam said that Quinn told him that he sees Chelsea as a game threat. So that is something that he wanted to put on Chelsea's radar. Now, Cam says if next week is a double, they can get out Angela and then get Chemo out in the next one. So Cam is really trying to kind of push towards the direction of Angela, right? Now, overall, she says, look, like the relationship Leah has will be frayed with Chemo since she voted him out regardless. So, you know, no matter what, that will probably be a vote against Chemo. Chelsea says she does not want to have to be the tiebreaker, though, if Leah does indeed end up going up. Now, Cam asks if one of the original noms wins veto, so that would be Angela and Chemo, who would she put up? And she, you know, he asks, like, what about Rubina? You know, he's like, aren't you very close to Rubina? Like, he's like, I don't know, like, what about Rubina? I think you're very close to her, right? I'm not sure if you would do that or not. And Chelsea says, no, I'm not close to Rubina, but I would not want to necessarily like burn those bridges because I did tell like that trio that I would protect them. I don't necessarily want to burn those bridges. Now, she says she'd rather put Leah up versus Rubina because Leah is only interested in keeping Cam or Angela safe, but Leah is not guaranteed to keep her game safe. Whereas Rubina is interested in the women's alliance, so she would be more willing to keep Chelsea safe, most likely. So they start to argue a little bit, you know, those two, because Chelsea's like, look, whether she's the nom or the renom, he's, Chelsea's like, look, I know you're going to keep her. I know you're going to keep her over me. And you always kind of choose her over me.
You're keeping her here. Yes. So it's an issue for me regardless. Because you're not worried about me. You're willing to keep her.
Yeah.
Cam says, look, whether she's the nom or the renom, I'm going to keep her. And Cam's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to vote her out. And they start to go back and forth, back and forth. She's saying, look, your argument doesn't make sense because, you know, like at the end of the day, she's somebody that's safe for your game, but not safe for my game. So why should I be unwilling to put her up? She gets into how she feels that Cam is always picking other people over her, even though they're supposed to be like a duo or working together. And they kind of go back and forth with things, and there is no resolution. As we obviously know, Chelsea's renom is pretty set as Leah. You know, there's some buzzing about it possibly being Rubina, but yeah. So Quinn and Leah, they also have a conversation. They're just discussing the eviction. They say, look, we need to stick with Cam, Chelsea, and MJ, and we need to make sure that we win next week so we can make some moves. Quinn thinks the only way that Angela will actually get out of this house is to put her up against T-Core. So Kimo and Chelsea have a conversation, and he is basically promising that the trio is going to keep Chelsea safe. Now, Chelsea asks, who wanted me out when I was on the block, you know, with Brooklyn and Cam? Kimo says, look, I don't really know, but I know that me and T-Core were vying to keep you safe. So T-Core and Rubina also have a conversation, and T-Core reveals the visionaries to Rubina and talks about how she was kind of shocked about Quinn's gameplay this week because the visionaries exist. It sounded in this conversation like she was willing to tell this to Chelsea. She probably will reveal this information at some point. But overall, she talks about how she was very confused about Quinn's gameplay because it didn't really align with things that would work for the visionaries. Now, Angela and Chelsea have a conversation.
And it's so cool that women in this game have won 2 HOHs.
Yeah.
And if you look at the board, we're getting to that goal.
And they talk a lot about all of the women making to jury, how great it is that all of the women made it here. It's amazing that, you know, we're still sticking to this women's alliance. And, you know, if we make these moves this week, it is in the best interest of the alliance. Now, Angela says, look, like, we've never solidified anything yet, so I'm not going to hold you to anything specific. But, you know, she kind of says, look, I'd want Quinn. Like, I'd want Quinn up if I had a choice, but she's aware that Quinn never did anything to Chelsea, so she's aware that Chelsea isn't really targeting Quinn like that. Overall, though, Angela says she does not want to be a pawn. She's tired of being a perpetual pawn. She doesn't want to keep going on the block. She wants her grandkids to be able to see her play this game. So she really, you know, would ideally like to not be a pawn, which is probably not happening. Sorry, Angela. Now, MJ and Chelsea, they also have a conversation, and Chelsea tells her, look, I'm going to keep you safe. You're not a nom or a renom option at this point.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I know this week's difficult for you. You know, I fully support an idea what to do.
MJ says, Angela thinks she's safe this week. Because of the girls' alliance, she believes that she is safe. And Chelsea says, well, I didn't directly tell her that she was safe, but I kind of like told her that I was protecting the girls, so she probably got that from it. Now, Chelsea says, all 8 people in this house, as far as I'm concerned, are pawn options. I don't have a specific target this week, but she's trying to see, at this point, who wanted to keep Cam over her when she was nominated, because those are going to be the people she would want to target more. MJ is worried about the Cam, Quinn, and Leah trio. She feels like those three are a trio, and then obviously there's the T-Core, Rubina, and Kimo trio, and then they're kind of like smack dab in the middle of all of the trios. But MJ does feel that Quinn will not hold the Joseph vote against them. Chelsea says that she wants to protect Cam, and T-Core no matter what. She doesn't want to touch the 3 of them, and that's kind of where they leave that. But Rubina and Chelsea also talk, and Chelsea confirms to Rubina at this point that she is putting Angela up. Rubina also makes sure to confirm to Chelsea that the trio has her back moving forward. And Chelsea says, look, I just don't want someone in the game who's going to try to pull a fast one on me during the double and get me out. So Chelsea and Quinn have a conversation. Chelsea does explain why she had to vote Joseph out. She does again confirm that Angela is for sure going to be going up. But Chelsea just reassures Quinn, like, look, I want you here. You're not my target. I don't plan to put you up. So Quinn, he can feel safe. He can breathe for 1 second. So Chelsea and Leah, they have a conversation. Leah talks a lot, so I tried to extract what I could from this conversation.
Strategic, whatever.
Not in that way, but what, because as I've considered, like, I'm considering double eviction next week. And,
So Chelsea asked how Leah feels about her as a player since the Pentagon blow-up. Leah says, oh, the same, smart, strategic. Chelsea's like, no, not like that, though. She's like, you know, in terms of, like, wanting me in, wanting me out, wanting to target me, like, what do you think? You know, she's thinking that next week is a double eviction, so she wants to know, basically, no, like, you gonna be targeting me in the double eviction or what? Now, she says, Chelsea says, look, I heard you wanted to get me out when I was on the block. Leah's like, well, that's not true. Yeah, I'm trying to remember back to that point. Like, I don't know, but, she's like, you know, I really didn't want to keep, like, Cam like that. I don't remember. Leah tries to, like, pretend that she doesn't really remember. Now, Leah claims that she was trying to do what the house wanted for a certain period of time, but not anymore. She said that she did consider flipping on the Joseph vote, but she did give her word to Joseph that she was going to keep him here. Now, Leah says Tucker told her that Chelsea was the one saying bad things about her. And Chelsea tells Leah, look, I'm considering putting Chemo up, even though at this point she had told Rubina, I am not going to be considering putting the trio up. So she's trying to make sure that at least Rubina is at bay with it. She does tell T-Core eventually that she's planning on putting Chemo up. I guess she just didn't want Rubina to be on the set for whatever reason. So yeah, T-Core and Chelsea have a very long conversation.
But if that's the case, I'm not agreeing to the all-female alliance. Does that make sense? And if of the 3 guys that I want to go home first, it's Quinn. Don't get me wrong. But
Chelsea does start off telling her that, look, you are safe this week. She said that everybody wanted Angela to get to jury, and hey, she's here now. So at this point, I feel like it's time to get her out, get her into the jury. We all let her get to jury because that's what everybody wants, for her to be a vote. But she says anyone that sits next to Angela will be safe. Now, she thinks the Girls Alliance is smart, but she does not know if all of the girls are down, though. And Chelsea also says, look, Quinn protected them, so I feel bad putting him up this week. So Chelsea has made it very, very clear that because she was safe, she didn't go up as a nom or a renom last week, that she does not want to put Quinn up personally. Now, she tells her she wants to put up Angela and Chemo. She says Chemo has a great chance to win the veto. And even if he doesn't win, he has the votes to stay. She starts to break down how even if she's the tiebreaker, she would vote out whoever is next to Chemo. She really makes it evidently clear that Chemo is not her target this week, but she has to do this. The numbers are small, and she just really doesn't want it to be something that Chemo and T-Core are paranoid about. Now, she says, though, however, if I do this plan of putting up Angela and Chemo and getting out Angela or Leah or whoever sits next to Chemo, that would also kind of mean that I'm not on board with the Girls Alliance. Because if I make that move, it will become evidently clear that I'm not here for the Girls Alliance. So she's like basically debating like what is going to be the best idea for her. Like stick with the Girls Alliance and make moves related to that in the best interest of that, or make this other move that may be better for her game, but may not get her the numbers that she wants to have. So she says she wants to keep Leah unless Chemo takes himself off the block. She says she doesn't mind even using the veto on Chemo. She just cannot put up Quinn this week. Now, T-Core asks what she would do if Angela wins, and she says that she would put up Chemo and Leah, but again, she would be willing to be the tiebreaker and save Chemo. Now, she says Chemo is not even remotely my option. She keeps hammering this home, and she begs T-Core to let Chemo know, like, you are not the target. Please don't get paranoid. Please don't get scared, because that's just not the case. Now, T-Core wants to solidify something moving forward with she, Chemo, and and Chelsea, so that way Chemo can feel a bit safer that this is actually like a plan and not just a backstab towards him to secretly get him out. Chelsea says, you know, I don't really want an alliance right this second. Like, Chelsea's kind of like, I don't know about that. But she does try to convince T-Core that Cam is good for her game, that she should keep Cam here, and that, you know, Cam should even be working with them. Now, she also talks about how Quinn trusts them and wants to protect them, and he would keep them over MJ and Cam, but not Leah because he's in love with her. So he knows that she knows that Quinn would protect them over anyone except Leah, essentially, is what she's trying to tell T-Core. Again, as reasoning to not put Quinn up this week. So Chelsea says she believes that Leah knew about the flip and just did not want Chemo here, like, you know. But T-Core asks about who they can solidify in an alliance between them. She says, do you want to do, like, maybe the girls' alliance, or would you rather do an alliance of us two, Chemo, Rubina, and Cam? Chelsea says at this point, again, she doesn't really want to do an alliance, but she would rather have it where they can all come together, and Cam and Chemo as well, where they can all kind of come together and like have each other's backs, but it's not necessarily an alliance. Which again, smart for Chelsea. Like, why are we going to have what, basically like a six-person, 8-person alliance at this point in the game? It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. But she does say that she does still want to talk further with Rubina, Chemo, and the two of them about potentially forming something. So T-Core and Chemo have a conversation afterwards, and T-Core just kind of tells Chemo what Chelsea's plan is, about how he's potentially going to be a pawn. It's very clear that Chemo's like not feeling so hot. He definitely looks like he is stressed. Poor Chemo. She talks about how Chelsea feels like she owes Quinn a week this week because he kept her safe. And, you know, she kind of asks Chemo, like, do you have any other suggestions? Like, do you have anything else she could do? Chemo gives nothing. Chemo is stressed. He is like, like, I'm going to be on the block again. Come on. So Angela, Chemo, Rubina, and T-Core, they're also all sitting in the bathroom. Angela is feeling extremely guilty that she did not vote for Chemo to stay.
He's still here.
Sorry. I thought you were introducing me.
She's kind of crying. You know, she promises, look, I'm going to vote however she wants, Chelsea, however she wants this week. But it's kind of funny because every single person sitting in that room knows that Angela is going up and is the target as of right now. So it's kind of like, it's all futile, but okay. Chelsea and MJ, they have another little talk after Chelsea has all her one-on-ones. They have another talk, and Chelsea asks, Chelsea asks MJ, who are you voting out if it's Chemo versus Angela? And she says, likely Angela. Now, Chelsea says she did consider potentially putting Rubina up, but she doesn't really know because she does know that Rubina would keep them safe if she wins HOH. Now, she tells MJ the renom may be Rubina. Keep that in mind because she hasn't really told that to anyone else yet. She always says Leah, 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 but she's never said Rubina quite yet. And I do think of all of these final twos, I do think that this one is the most solid. Basically, the two of them, MJ and Chelsea, they don't like officially name their final two or say out loud we have a final two, but it's like very, very clear that the two of them are working together. They agree that if either one of them gets the veto, they're protecting each other. So it is definitely very, very like we're together basically type thing. So that is kind of where we ended off. So ending off the night, it is looking pretty clear that the nominations are going to be Chemo and Angela. If Chemo takes himself off, the renom will likely either be Leah or Rubina. And in either case, the target is not the target is not Chemo. It is whoever is sitting next to Chemo. That's what it is for now. But as we know, this house moves fast and there's been a lot of flips in this house. So yeah, love the strategizing. I like the Chelsea's HOH because she strategizes, okay? I feel like some of these people play on emotion. Chelsea is a strategic player and I like hearing some of the strategy she gives with other people. So that has been very interesting to listen to. Anyways, if you made it to this point in the video, that means you like the video. So I would love it if you could help me to drum up engagement on the videos by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the videos. Please share the videos with your friends, family, whoever else in your life likes Big Brother. And please make sure you are subscribed. Hit the bell button so you know when I drop these recaps daily, and make sure you are still subscribed. By the way, we are less than 100 subscribers away from 2,000. I would absolutely love it if I made it to 2,000 by the end of this week. That would be phenomenal. So I would love your help. If you guys like the content, please support me. It means the world to me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next recap tomorrow. Bye!